Now let's do some practice. Could you sit with your back straight? Bring your attention to what's happening at your sense doors, your 5 sense doors. You need not close your eyes. You can open your eyes slightly and just maintain an unfocused gaze. Be aware that you are seeing. Not trying to focus on any particular object or trying to identify any particular object, but just knowing that there is seeing. You can also be aware that there are various sounds around you. There's hearing going on. And direct your attention to the nose to see whether you can smell anything. You might not. And there's probably no activity at your tongue door because you're not eating anything. Although there might be some taste there if you are sensitive enough. Then of course you're aware that you are seated. There's a sense of the body being seated there. You don't have to zoom in to identify the elements. This is barely aware that there is body consciousness. So this is a very simple 3-step process. The first step is to bring your awareness to your 5 senses. So the second step is to relax in body and mind, allowing the mind to just flow among the 5 senses. Not trying to grasp at any particular object, but just stepping back to see how the mind works, how it is attracted by the various senses quite randomly. If you are used to doing rising and falling or anapana, and your mind goes there automatically, it's still okay to let it be. You don't need to force it to be aware of other objects. But at the same time, you should not shut off other objects from your field of awareness. Now the third step is to check your mind to see whether it's thinking instead of being aware of the senses. Whatever thoughts that arise in the mind, whether they are concerned with the present, the past or the future, or whether they are just daydreams, whether they are in words or in pictures, just know them. You don't have to push them away, you don't have to suppress them, nor do you want to pursue those thoughts and ideas. Just notice them, accept them as just a part of the mind's nature, let them go, come back to step 1 and step 2. Try doing this with your eyes open. Because this is to be practiced not only when you are seated with your eyes closed, but throughout your whole day, whenever you remember to, wherever you are, whenever you can. Step 1, be conscious of the 5 senses, any of the 5 senses. Step 2, be relaxed in body and mind, not grasping, stepping back and allowing the mind to move among the senses. Step 3, checking to see if there are thoughts, and if there are, allowing them to fade off by not suppressing them, not pushing them away or pursuing them. Then coming back to step 1 and 2. When you become familiar with these 3 steps, and you find that your mind is composed, settled and calm, you can go one step further by investigating how the mind reacts or responds to the senses, the 6 senses. on account of the sense, internal sense space and external sense space, what is the factor that arises? Can you catch the desire to want to calm the mind, to be rid of wandering thoughts? Can you catch the desire to want to indulge in the sleepiness and drowsiness? Can you catch the boredom of just trying to be aware of what's happening at the five sense stores? Can you investigate the cause of the boredom? If one can summarize the 3 steps into just one step, which is to periodically ask yourself, what's the mind doing? What's the mind aware of? And you can ask this question any time of the day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, even when you are engaged in a conversation. Okay, that's the end of our experiment. Before we go on to the next section, do you have any questions? Anything that you need me to clarify? If you're welcome to come and ask.
Bhante, I'd like to check for understanding. Because just now during your slides on perception, and while we were doing that meditation, it brought me back to an event in the retreat a month ago over here. There was one evening, Bhante Kumara walked into our kuti, and I was there half meditating, half sleeping. And all of a sudden he asked, whose phone is that? And I got, wow, straight away. It's like, and from that moment onwards, I was like trying to explain, but he was going back to his interview. So I was like, wow, this tak amang ah. You know, tak boleh tahan, man. I got to And then the thoughts went on, no, blah, 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 blah. It's not only the words were still ringing in my head. And I said, I spent how much time looking for Brother Tan, no, to tell him, can I keep the phone or not? Because I don't wear watch nowadays. I only use the phone. And then I was going, how I know, look for it. And then he gave me the permission. And here, the monk asked me like that. And don't they communicate? What type of Sangha is this? And then he went on, the thoughts went on. And I said, Aiyo, agak cita. I don't know why agak cita or agak cita. Don't he train his people? You know? Those are things. And he went, what? And I just couldn't take it. And then after that, it was the evening sitting. And after the sitting, I wanted to talk to him, but there are so many others talking to him. I said, never mind. Wait till later on. Later on, we had to break early. So I went back. And that night, I tell you, for the first 30 minutes, I couldn't sleep. Tossing, twisting, the same thing went repeating like a video again and again and again. Oh, really cannot sleep. And then it came to a point, I remember in the book, Euthanasia said, if you are not sleeping, you should be meditating. And at that point, Euthanasia, how you pronounce it? The writer of the book, Euthanasia. Euthanasia. So if you are not sleeping, you should be meditating. So at that point, I went in and I said, okay, breathing in, I relax my body, breathing out. And then 3-4 times only, you know, only 3-4 times. And all of a sudden, I heard this voice, where is your mind now? You know, because after 1.5 weeks in the retreat, Bante, every morning, where is your mind now? What's your mind doing? Where is your mind now? What's your mind doing? So it came out, where is my mind now? And then I realized, oh, my mind outside all the time, Sangha la, Gajita la, this la, that la. And then I said, oh, better come back. And the minute it came back, and then the question came is, why do you need the phone? I said, I want to wake up in the morning. I want to be the first, what? Why do you want to be the first? I said, you don't know me, I want to be the first, what? Then he said, so what if you are not the first? I don't know, you know, it's like somebody talking to me. And then all of a sudden, I said, yeah, I don't need the phone. And within just a few minutes now, I went to sleep. And I slept like a baby, and that was the first day, or the first morning, I woke up number 3. So, Bante, with all honesty, I'm not like those, because I don't know much about Buddhism, number 1. At least you know the 4 Noble Truths. I only had one of my wisdom tooth left only. No wisdom at all, nothing. And during the retreat, I hardly sit over here. No, I can sit sometimes, oh, so stiff for hours. I sit half an hour here, pain, there, pain. So, but every time I sit in my kuti and I watch out, I know I'm relaxing, I let go. So now I'm a bit confused. Do I need to sit such long hours to realize this, or you know, what's the effect behind this? And I was going through today's whole morning session. It seems like I'm reviewing all the steps from the hindrance. I can see the ill will there, and then I can see the restlessness and the remorse there, you know, and then connecting to the khandhas, I can see all the steps there, see, and then right up to this point. So I'm not sure, no, I'm a bit confused. What is causing all these effects or the experience that I had? Or was it just fluke shot for me?
This is part of the spiritual progress. You are making progress. You are understanding more and more of how the mind works. And you can see that the mind doesn't belong to you, right?
Yeah.
It just goes on rambling and rambling and rambling. And then suddenly when you ask yourself, what's the mind doing? Then you realize, hey, yeah, what is it doing? So like I said just now, you know, when you find that you're composed and calm, then you can put in the questions. And then you can find the answers. You know, the answers will just come to you. Why do you need a phone? Why do I need that? Why do I need to be first? Right? Why do you need to sit so long hours? Right? It's not a matter of how you can sit, how long you can sit. It's a matter of how clear your mind can be.
But Bante, when I go through this program, everything is like over the top. Bro, man, I got to search here, search there, draw map, try to connect here and there, you know. But over there, it's just like I just sat and I just watch.
Yeah, maybe it's as simple as that. Okay. Sadhu.